Well, hello there, everyone. Mr. Rooster Elite here, bringing you all another video. So, in this video, we're going to be talking about suffering, alright? Because I was going to name this video something else. This is going to be a completely different video, right? But I remembered that this was a solo, a solo queue video, and I was like, damn it. Because these were some pretty good gameplays, if I remember these correctly. So, definitely, I'm so glad that I can finally get these out to y'all, edit them. Hopefully, you guys enjoy these. But with that being said, we're about to talk about some suffering. So, suffering. What the hell is suffering exactly? What do I mean by suffering? Like if you was to just be walking outside, right, and you just step, like stab your toe, in what I'm saying, into a fucking piece of concrete. Does that mean suffering? You know what I'm saying? Is that suffering? Nah, that's not suffering at all. It's pain. Okay. there's a there's a thin but pretty noticeable line between suffering and pain, if you ask me. Now, personally, uh, I don't necessarily have a definition for suffering, but I feel as though suffering is more so a choice versus pain, right? For example, uh, the pain you feel for losing like a significant other, whether that be like y'all just broke up, y'all just parted ways, you know what I'm saying, or they left this realm, whatever the case may be, like there's gonna be some physical pain there that you feel in your heart, so you're gonna be in pain, but you're also gonna be suffering at the same time, because we all, anyone can tell you that we spend more times in our own head than we do anywhere else. So with that being said, the reality that we create in our head is that the situation is a lot worse than what it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that a situation like that isn't a bad situation, a tough situation to be in, because it definitely is. However, that the way that you go about handling the situation should not uh, reach a point to where it seems as though you're self-destructing. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, we don't need to self-destruct one another in order to get things done. We just have to more so recognize that our minds are doing this. That sometimes we can get lost in our thoughts. It's like a vast ocean with all these winds, and it's just chaotic. And I understand that it can sometimes be a little scary, but it's perfectly fine, because we all, literally, since we're human, we are all going through it. So it's not like you're in it alone or anything like that. But it just feels that way because we can't see, we don't really acknowledge the world outside of ourselves, for real. And it's very unfortunate and sad, but that's really how we are. I wonder, why is it like that though? Like, what is it in our minds? Like, I feel like there's something that just that's that we, in our individualism, like there's something in there that just really, I don't even know how to word it. It's almost like that something, whatever is in our brain, that gives us our individuality, that ego, whatever is in all of that, that is what brings us to these, I don't know, just wild conclusions that, we're the only ones that are going through what we're going through, you know. But suffering is a choice. We can like it's more than just a feeling or a situation of discomfort. You know what I'm saying? Suffering, I personally feel like suffering is the choice one makes to give up their peace of mind or their sovereignty, by focusing on something external. That's personally how I would describe suffering. And what that means to me is you, let's say, alright, great example. You have work. You go to work. You having a great morning or whatever. Boom. You go to work, and then one customer. You know what I'm saying? When one customer makes you upset, and this is like morning time, and then one customer leaves for some reason. Now your whole day is shot. You know what I mean? Is That's not that's not particularly healthy, because that's a whole day that you've wasted, that you've given your energy up. You've given up your own peace of mind, your own freedom for that day. All because of one customer in the morning. And you still had the whole day ahead of you. It's crazy. It makes no sense. Like, why would we do that? We don't have to do this to ourselves. And the thing about it is we don't realize that we're doing this to ourselves. Or maybe we're not being mindful enough. That's how I like to look at it. I look at it like I'm not being mindful enough, right? So since we're not being mindful enough, we're just literally acting. Like literally. It don't feel like that to us because we don't pay it no mind at all. It's like the little attention that we do give it is so minimum, so subtle, we don't notice it. The same way how our phones are addicting. It releases dopamine. This is a fact. It releases dopamine. They're addictive. You know what I'm saying? But it's so subtle, we don't notice it. That's why a lot of us can't put down our phones. That's exactly why. Right there. If y'all didn't know that, a lot of people don't know that. I don't know why. But y'all should do some research. But anyway, yes. Why is it that people suffer? I personally feel like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say on why is it that people suffer, right? Like, human beings, obviously, we suffer due to our attachments, our ego, our being in general is just that's life. Life is fundamentally suffering, especially in the Buddhist perspective. This is what the Buddha would preach about. Life is fundamentally suffering, and once you understand this fundamental fact of life, you can start to go to the road. You can start heading down the road, or a path, I should say, of alleviating yourself of your suffering. But my fault, y'all. I really got wrapped up in what I was doing for a second. I was doing his ass, wasn't it? That's crazy. But I'm not sure, y'all. I just feel like I feel like suffering can be thought of as a mixture. I'm sorry, I really be thinking when I be oh y'all see this, right? I'm gone. That's crazy. But I really be thinking when I be talking about these things. So I be trying to have my thoughts together. It's as y'all already know, it's not that easy, especially when it's topics that we don't think about on the daily. It can sometimes have our minds scrambling. But nah, for real, I feel like our suffering can definitely be a mixture of maybe some like of our attachments and our ego, and also with our own trauma, like ancestral trauma from the past, you know, because we have this built-in fear mechanism within us humans, and it's crazy. It's crazy because of this fear we've been able to survive, but also because of this fear we have been able, or we've been hindering ourselves from certain connections that 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 we be able to make with others, and you know, with each other and things of that nature, right? But it's crazy how, oh, just a quick off topic note. It's crazy how I literally just got the exact same map back to back. Y'all see that, right? But anyway, um, I definitely want to start doing more of these type of videos and get better at them as I go on, y'all, because at the moment, not really too sure how I'm going to start implementing these on the channel, how long I'm going to like average them. So I definitely hope you all can bear with me, the ones that are with me at the moment, and the ones that are new. I welcome you all with open arms. But back to the topic though, of suffering. So yeah, we all have this built-in fear mechanism. We usually fear strangers right off the bat, especially nowadays with all that be going on in the world. It seems like there's so much distrust that's out there, and it's crazy. It really is. I be thinking about it sometimes, and I can't help but feel nothing but a a big wave, like similar to a gravitational wave. I feel like nothing but a wave of empathy, you know, and just damn, cause I feel like it could be so much better, like everything in the world. Like a lot of people don't like to think about how we're really just a star, you know what I'm saying? Particles of stars collected together, and then, you know, eventually forming a human. And it's crazy as hell. Like, it's crazy. People don't think about stuff like that. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but it sucks, because these are the things that really matters the most, if you ask me. You know what I mean? You're not gonna really care about who I don't even know, like, what the next rapper is wearing, I guess. You know, you're not gonna be caring about the next fashion design. You're gonna actually start living, you know. A lot of people, in my opinion, aren't even living for real. They're more so just being. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a difference between the two. And when you're being, you might even suffer more, mainly because you're so caught up. And and I'm not saying everyone who is being is like this, but for the most part, if you're someone who's being, you're most likely going to be also one of those types of people who gets caught up in the reality that their mind tells itself, you know. And if you do that, then you can lose sight of the actual reality, you know, because sometimes the situation is nowhere near as bad as we can sometimes make it out to be. I'm going crazy. I'm sorry, y'all, for that pause, but that was crazy. But yes, I believe that suffering, personally, I think that suffering is a choice, and we can definitely choose to alleviate ourselves from our suffering. But my thing about that is we have to actively work on ourselves. We have to actively start to get into things or into some type of activity that forces us to um you know focus on the mind, the body, and somehow uh leave you with yourself, with your thoughts, and understand that you're more than just what you be thinking that you are, and you can literally shape and mold yourself into whatever you want to be. Like, that's the beautiful part about being human, because one thing I will say is all animals have some form of intelligence, but at least being human, we have a choice to actually like use our own. Dang, that's crazy. That's but we have a choice to really use our own freedom and just be whoever we want to be. So that within itself is just very beautiful. I don't know about anyone else, but I choose to alleviate myself from that suffering. And personally, me, I personally feel as though you have to do it with a proper amount of mind, body, vac. I don't even know if I should say vacation, but you need to put some type of space in between your mind and your body sometimes, because when they're together, it can be overwhelming. So what you want to do is find some type of activity. With me, it's meditation, but there's plenty of things out there that can just get give you some space away from your mind and your body. Some people do yoga. Some people uh do some sports. Some people work out. You need to do something that'll get you into some type of state in which you can just literally just take some time away from yourself by being with yourself. It's a very, I know it's a very strange concept, especially if you haven't explored it before, but I promise you it's definitely something everyone definitely have to do before we reach that level of self mastery that we would need to be at. But I believe that every time I walk outside the house, I just see, and not only see, but I feel a tremendous amount of suffering just in the air. And I just feel so much empathy. And I just want to help everyone. So if anyone has any comments or concerns, do let me know. I'll appreciate anything or any feedback you all give me. And with that being said, let's start trying to bring some awareness to some of these things, everyone. Let's bring awareness to suffering. Let's bring some awareness to on why it is that people suffer, right? Like, most people, they really be upset about some things that they don't even have to be upset about, or things that don't be so serious. I seen a post once on Instagram. It was basically talking about how there's a 5x5 rule. It's like, if it won't matter in 5 years, don't even spend more than 5 minutes worrying about it. Now, I understand that there's a lot wrong with that specific rule. However, the premise of it is definitely what I want to try to drill in y'all heads, which is the fact that we shouldn't be just sticking on things that won't last a very long time. Like, because the thing about it, right, is sometimes, yes, we feel some type of way about it, right? But when you actually think about it, and this is the thing, you have to allow your feelings and your thoughts to coincide with one another. You can't let one rule over the other. When you actually think about what you're feeling and you rationalize it, and you if you still feel the way you feel, then yeah, obviously you should probably do something about it. But if you can rationalize that you're over exaggerating, like really just and honestly reflecting on yourself. I'm not trying, because a lot of people, and let's be honest, everyone does this. A lot of people like to believe that they're not in the wrong, and that's a goddamn lie. So some people, yeah, y'all be in the fucking wrong, and y'all know it. We know it. So it's like you definitely, in order to do things like this, in order to actually, to self-mastery and all of these things, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to actually give yourself an honest self-analysis and see how it is. Because if not, then you're just going to continue giving yourself false data about yourself. And you're going to always think that you know yourself, when in reality, you don't know yourself at all. But yeah, y'all, I think that's about it for all of that. Takeaway for this video, the theme is just make sure you all try to find something to give you all some type of peace of mind, because peace of mind is not the ultimate objective. However, that is an objective you should strive for, because we're gonna live in this life, and why not live this life a happy way? I just personally feel that way. Oh, excuse me, that was a burp. But I personally feel that way. I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't live a life that I don't really appreciate living. It don't make no sense for real. But with that being said, my apologies, y'all. I just got hooked on the video again. But with that being said, y'all, I will see you all in the next video. And like I said, I will try to do these videos more frequent. So do be looking forward to these videos more often. And I will see you all later.